Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our latest quick look preview thingamajig. Today we're looking at Battlezone gameplay. It's going to be a launch title for PlayStation VR, and it's in development at Rebellion, the studio what do Sniper Elite and that. I'm Rich Walker, this is Don Pepiat.
Hello.
And yeah, this is the game. It's kind of a reimagining, a VR reimagining of a classic arcade game, a retro arcade game.
Absolutely. I guess the on-rails thing kind of helps in VR. It makes a lot of sense, right? If you're seated on one track and you can look around.
Ah.
It gets with a lot of the problems.
Is it on rails though?
Is it not on rails?
No,
oh,
it's not on rails.
It's just from what I've seen.
Yeah. This is just where you begin. This is like the hangar, your kind of base. So it sets you up and then you slowly risen out onto the battlefield. You have the controller, it uses a standard DualShock 4. And you aim and fire and move and everything.
How did you find it? How did you adjust to the VR, to the headset itself?
Really easily. It's actually very intuitive. So they were initially going to have you move your head to shoot, but you don't do that in this. So you've got the crosshair that you move around. And so you move your head with the crosshair. It all works quite intuitively. It's quite straightforward.
Yeah, I can see you moving around up there as well. It's
So yeah, you can see me, my stupid face, my stupid head. Moving around with the VR headset on, the PlayStation VR headset, and yeah, this is me playing the game.
It looks very smooth. Did you feel nauseous or anything like that at all? Did it all kind of work seamlessly for you?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talking about having motion sickness with VR, but so far I've yet to be subjected to that.
So that could be a good thing about PSVR. Maybe that solved the problem then.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, this game in particular is super smooth. They were going to have you jump around, but they decided that would sort of turn your stomach a bit too much. But yeah, the basic premise of the game is you're fighting the Rotberg Corporation in this sort of weird Tron-like universe, sort of industrialized, computerized universe, and you shoot these enemy tanks and you collect data. That's what's happening here. So these little blue cubes that spill out as data.
So it's kind of like, say, it's very Tron based, a bit like Volume, a bit like Deus Ex Breach, kind of a mix of all these things.
Yeah, exactly.
Arcade tank shooting in there.
So they've kind of essentially taken the template of the sort of retro originals from in the 80s, I'm assuming. It's an 80s sort of Activision game, I think.
Yeah, cool. Makes sense.
Or Atari, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of got that aesthetic, and it's kind of rounded it up to this nice stylized modern day graphic as well. That's interesting.
It's cool. It's really cool. And when you've got the headset on as well, it's super immersive. It's good.
How's the soundtrack? I imagine something like this. It's kind of synthy and techno beats.
Yeah, it's kind of got a pumping kind of sort of. Yeah, but it fits the game,
Absolutely, yeah.
That kind of music isn't generally my bag, but it works for this, and it helps.
How did you find the navigation? Did you get lost or kind of lose your bearings all in the VR?
No, because you see the big kind of green radar.
Yes.
You've got your enemies on there, so whenever you're turning, that's orientating to where you are, so you know exactly where to go at all times. And there's different types of targets, and look, you can look down at your stuff, so you can cycle your weapons, see your loadout as well.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I'm locking on with these lock-on homing missiles.
So your HUD is down below you, so you can look at that at any point rather than having it on screen.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So you see those green bars as well, and kind of the struts of the front windscreen, whatever you want to call it. That's your health, so you've got that right in front of you. You've got your weapon counter, your ammo count. You pick up ammo from enemies you destroy as well. You can guarantee health drops as well by shooting them with your standard cannon. It takes a lot longer, but you guarantee health.
So if you're in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah. It's tough though. It's kind of that risk-reward thing, There's a big ammo drum. You got your Rot Mark 1 there as well. You can take a sort of perk with you of sorts, like an extra ability. This one infects enemies and does sort of damage over time. You have to get close to them and you sort of give that to them. You can also boost everywhere, so you see the green bars around there. That's your shields, your front, side and back shields.
Oh, so it works in kind of 3D.
Yeah, exactly. And as you boost, those bars go down. So you see them depleting to red.
The quicker you move, the more vulnerable you are.
Exactly, yeah. So they recharge over time, but you've got to keep an eye on them. Otherwise, if you're boosting everywhere all the time,
you're going to get destroyed.
You're going to screw yourself over. Exactly. So yeah, this is a turret I'm taking on and blowing up. There's loads of different enemies. You get little rewards and stuff like that. Nice shot, for distance. It's quite fast paced, and
yeah, it seems it.
This is just one of the opening missions, so it gets a lot more intense and a bit crazy.
I guess it gets quite hectic, right, as well.
Yes, yeah, they throw a lot of enemies at you. I mean, these are just the kind of basic classes as well, like the flyer, the light tank. You know, soon you get like bomb trucks that just kind of rush in and explode. You will go to some battlefields where there's mines everywhere.
Oh wow, okay.
So
it's really playing with all the different aspects it's giving you here. And
yeah, absolutely.
I imagine that sometimes you've got to flank enemies as well, kind of getting around them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so some tanks are vulnerable to the rear. So yeah, getting around and flanking them and taking them down that way is one of the strategies you can employ.
And I see you kind of collecting like currency of some sort. Can you use that later on to upgrade yourself and your ship and get better things? And
Exactly. You can spend it on upgrades and like more lives. So if you die in the middle of a mission and you don't want to wait to be revived, you can just use up a life. So this is me now. That was single player just then that you saw. This is me playing 4-player co-op now. So this is something that was recently revealed, relatively recently. I've got a few new weapons as well, new loadout. You see there's a lot more going on the radar.
So you've become a bit of a badass.
Exactly,
since last time,
and
right?
this is a volcano world, so this is a bit further into the game. You use a hex-based kind of map to plan out your route from one corner to another where there's a volcano at the end, and on the way there's a shield generators you can destroy to weaken the enemy. But while you're progressing through the map, the enemy's also getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and you see that progressing, and they deploy nemesis tanks. And if you go onto a hex with a nemesis tank, you've got your work cut out for you.
Really?
Sometimes it can be several, and they're really tough.
So it's kind of like resource management / just planning ahead, let's say, really.
Exactly. And certain hexes on the map will have events as well, so there'll be like text-based events maybe, or emergent things that'll just happen, or there'll be a shop where you can buy new weapons and things. So there's a lot to kind of take in, but it's pretty cool.
The hex-based thing like that, and I guess it's procedural in a sense then, as you're playing through.
And the levels actually procedurally generated as well, I believe. So there's kind of almost infinite replay value.
So that makes it interesting. Every single time you go in VR, you can look around and explore different things. It's quite a nice idea.
Exactly. So you see these blue tanks are my allies. That big sort of radar you saw over there, that dish. If you go there and you stay by it, you'll hack it, and then it'll reveal the location of all the enemies on the map for a temporary time.
Okay.
That radar relay.
So if you're playing in co-op, you're going to want someone to go and do that while someone pushes ahead. And
I think I'll go and do it now, actually. So you see hack commencing there under my ammo count.
Yes, yeah.
So once I've hacked that, like I say, all the enemies will be revealed, and then all my allies can sort of go and get involved.
It's like rich playing support.
So there you go. And then so you see my co-op guys there, they're in trouble. There's one who's been downed, so someone's going to rescue him, I think.
And how do you trigger that? By getting within proximity?
By getting close to them, you can replenish their health. There's also like health perks that kind of help you do that quicker.
Okay.
And also replenish your own health and stuff. So how you build your tank as well is totally up to you. So whoops, that's one of my allies. So you can like build it for just strength and power. Oh, you see my radar's being scrambled there as well by the enemy. So yeah, you can build it for strength, just make it a tank, so to speak, just, that can charge in. Or you could make it lighter, faster, with more weaponry, more different perks and things, make it a medic, essentially.
If you knew you're going in as utility, you're going to want to heal people, you can make it quick and have the perk that gives them a boost and stuff?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can also upgrade your front, side or back shields, so you could put all your shields into the front
and go full
and just
aggro.
Charge in. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot to, like I say, a lot to think about. So this is a hack mission as well, so we're hacking into their base. I think this is our base they're trying to take. There's loads of mission types as well, actually. So there's hack, there's just destroy the base. There's also just eliminate the enemies. There's quite a few different types.
So there's a lot of variety in a procedurally generated kind of situation.
Exactly.
There's going to be a lot to do. Is that the
bomb
truck?
That's the bomb truck. Yeah. So you got to be careful, and some of them lay mines as well. So that bomb truck kind of took me unawares. So I can either abandon my tank and retreat back to the map and let the whole team down, or I can spend a life. So I think here, no one's. Oh no, I do. I get healed. Okay, I get healed by my allies. That's cool.
Help you out.
They healed me, but I could have spent a life if I'd have wanted to. But I think you should maybe share a pool of lives.
Oh, okay. So
I
if one
might
of
be
you-
wrong about that.
If one of you goes out to the map, is that it for everyone?
I think so. I think you've
you've
kind of screwed your team over. Yeah. So it's best not to do that. I think we get a little bit stuck here on each other. I think it's 3 of us all kind of. It's like the Three Stooges syndrome stuck
And how
in
does
the
that work
doorway.
once you're in the VR? Do you ever feel like kind of in the headset? Does it, does it ever make you feel a bit like kind of stuck in there, or do you always feel? Because I guess you can just look around, can't you?
Yeah, not really. You don't really. I mean, it's kind of claustrophobic in a way. You can mark enemies as well and mark objectives and stuff for your allies.
So you can all sort of like go in as one, converge.
Yeah, absolutely. But once you take it off, you do feel a sense of, wow, I'm out of the matrix kind of thing. It's weird. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's cool.
So this is online co-op as well, isn't it? So you 4 of you can be sat there in your helmets at home.
This was like a LAN setup, so we were all in the same room. But that was a mission failure, so yeah, we screwed up there. So you see, you get a score at the end. It's broken down into sort of what you did for the team, and there's an orange bit. So pickups, damage. The orange bit would have been for completing the objective, but we didn't get any of that because we didn't complete the objective. So you still get stuff, but you lose out. But this is the hex-based map, like I say. So you can see the enemies power building. You can see the blue ones are the ones we've completed. So we're getting across the map, and we're up to shield generator almost.
So it's like Blockbuster, but like the video game version of Blockbuster.
And you don't have to answer any questions. You just go around destroying stuff.
you got to kill things instead of like answer baseless trivia.
Yeah, can I have a pee, please, Bob? No, don't need it.
No, it's a Nemesis
I'll just
tank.
blow it all up. Exactly.
That's pretty cool. That's a nice setup though, and it gives you, like you say, a very tangible effort to work towards.
Exactly. You know what you're doing. You know where you're going, and you don't have to destroy all the generators. You could just make a straight line across, or you could go and power up and do every single hex before you get to the end.
Go and get the bonuses from the top and the bottom, right?
You could do the whole lot. It's entirely up to you. So that's kind of cool. Obviously, if you're like a completionist, you'll want to do every single hex and unlock the whole board. But yeah, no, you can just make a straight line across.
You can just go zippity-doo.
Exactly. I mean, I played for a good few hours, a couple of hours, I'd say, and we got halfway across the board, and we were just rushing across kind of thing. Because I wanted to sort of take in as much as I could.
So that's the co-op campaign, is it? That board. Okay, that's really cool.
Oh, and the single player campaign. So it all counts, whatever you're doing. So whether you're in single player or co-op, you can. So these are mine. I think these are mine layers. So they're chucking mines and all sorts. So they're a bit of a sod.
Does it ever get like overwhelmingly hectic, especially when you're in the kind of headset? Like,
especially if you've got stuff overhead as well. Like you've got flyers shooting at you. You've got these little guys whizzing around. You might have heavy tanks. I think this level we had a Nemesis tank as well that we had to destroy. So yeah, it can get pretty rough. I mean, obviously this is 4-player co-op as well, so it gets tougher.
I guess it scales with how many people are in there.
That mine layer took me down. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the more there are of you, the more you've got to contend with. So it gets pretty rough, man. But yeah, the HUD's really cool. I'm like, what do I do? So I think I spent a life there because I was like, I just want to get back into it.
Right.
But we've got 2 others downed as well, and it's looking pretty desperate at this point.
But then you rush in.
So we've got 1 guy left. There's our Nemesis tank. He's cornered, and he seems to be disabled. He seems to have been. I know he's back up and running, but that's your Nemesis tank. They're pretty tough. They got shields to take down. They got,
Yeah, look at that.
A lot of health. So
really wailing on that guy.
That was all 4 of us ploughing in, and that was me also calling in artillery strikes to bomb it from above because I unlocked that.
If so you take those down. Do they have specific drops, like better drops than other enemies?
I don't think so. No, I think you just clear them off the board. They're kind of big purple tanks on the like symbols on the board. So getting rid of those is, it removes a big impediment to progress.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing you really want to organise and liaise with your team.
Exactly. Let's all, get on the Nemesis tank and take it down. Yeah, that's me firing at allies because I'm an idiot.
It seems to have sort of medals in there as well, right?
Yeah, there's rewards and stuff. So always the top player will get a little medal at the end. So you'll be rewarded.
That's really cool.
So that's pretty much it. I think. I think we've just come to the end of this mission. I can't remember whether we succeed or not. But this is a cool volcano world as well. There's loads of different world types,
biomes, I guess, right?
Yeah, of sorts. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Actually, this isn't coming to the end of the mission. We've got loads of enemies left. There's turrets and stuff over there.
I guess it gives you more examples of the kind of objectives you get then, right?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, some things you like I say you're hacking or you're capturing or whatever. Others you're destroying stuff.
What was your favourite mission type?
I think I really like this one because you've got a bit of everything. So you're like destroying a generator here, I believe.
But early
And
on
it's
was
a lot
really
of fun.
hacking as well. And
Yeah, a bit hacking, and there's these kind of turrets to contend with. They're quite tough. I was using my lock on here, and that seemed to do the trick.
Yeah, definitely.
Just sort of staying in cover and sort of turtling up.
A lot of weapon variety then. That's
Yeah. So I'd done multi-lock-ons, and I'd upgraded that to Mark III, so it's quite good. And I had some unguided, just basic rockets, and I had artillery, which I could drop, and I upgraded that to Mark IV, so that was pretty badass by the time I got that to the end. And you've got your basic little cannon, which you can select by holding square. So you cycle weapons with square, and if you hold square, you get your basic cannon. I'm looking pretty rough here again. My health's low.
So initially I thought, well, there's a lot going on here, but
Yeah.
you seem to read it quite well by the time you're in.
Well, yeah, this was towards the end of the demo, so that was a minefield as well. I'm stuck in to see these little mines.
Oh,
I'm
right.
just kind of trying to clear them out of the way. But they can be everywhere. Those mine layers just chuck them about. But I'm, like I say, I'm just really keeping an eye on my health at the moment.
Pretty intelligent, like enemy design then in that regard.
Yeah.
Really works well with the kind of the map setup.
Yeah, they've got a bit of everything. So there's like a swarm as well that can jam your radar.
I saw that overhead earlier on. I
yeah.
think. Yeah, it's really cool.
So you've
Very
got to look out for
Matrixy.
those. So the enemy base is at 50%, so we're almost there. So I think I'm just kind of clearing off enemies, trying to kind of pave the way for the rest of the team to destroy the base.
I guess at this point, if you had your standard cannon, right, you can go and try and pick someone off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this was me trying. This was the basic cannon I was using now, just trying to guarantee myself a health drop.
There you go. It
So
works.
I've got 3 lives. I think I must get. Yeah, I get to see that little yellow thing. I think
It
that's
was like
some health.
a Destiny engram.
So there we go, success, we did it. So that is Battlezone. That's out October 13th for PlayStation VR as a launch title. And that's what you can expect when the game releases. It's pretty cool, a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So I've been Rich Walker, it's been Don Pepiat. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.